Structure of matter. Birth. Matter is cosmic energy condensed by the concentric action of gravity. This occurs due to the three-dimensional characteristic of space, by which all the lines of cosmic energy that are directed concentrically to a certain point in space, join, mix, at and form an autonomous point of energy matter in that place. And in turn, each point of energy matter in space has the property, by concentric action, of attracting and accumulating with others of equal characteristics, giving increasingly greater accumulations of matter energy such as particles, sets of particles, atoms, stars, etc. Structure. In principle, and by gravitational action, all particles will attract each other and tend to gather together into larger particles, but no, the nascent pressure of energy in the large material nuclei creates a system of forces of expansion, redistribution, and even explosion, which prevents these nuclei from exceeding the maximum energy level allowed by the cosmos, dA. And what would be these forces of expansion and redistribution of energy throughout the cosmos? Well, all the magnetic fields and forces, in their different potentials and levels. Therefore, we have two primary forces in the structuring, creation and redistribution of matter energy in the cosmos, and they are gravity, which builds it, and the magnetic forces that distribute it properly. Thus, and speaking colloquially, gravity and magnetic forces would meet and agree to the following pact. Well, I, gravity, am going to create matter for you, and you, magnetic force, going to organize and redistribute it throughout cosmic space, and if you see that it exceeds the limits, then you destroy those great material nuclei. To which the magnetic forces responded. Well, I'll tell you how we will do it. We will unite our two forces, and while you attract matter, I create and distribute it in orbital systems, nuclei with satellites around them, with a large occupied volume and within the permitted cosmic density balance, dA, and thus we will be able to maintain the energy groupings in well-defined systems for as long as possible. Of course, if they exceed the energy level, then I destroy them. And from this pact was born the idea of orbital systems, in which all groupings of matter of any size and at any level are structured, whether microcosm, macrocosm, atoms, stars, or even any other orbital system between both levels, lepton neutrino, planet-moon, group or pairs of meteorites, galaxies, etc. Postscript. Referring here to the Standard Model, we will say that the alleged particles that form the atomic nuclei do not exist, they are only pieces of a compact and amorphous nucleus, and that they are produced with the destruction of said nuclei. The fact that once these material pieces are free, now converted into autonomous particles, they begin to create their own gravitational and magnetic fields, this does not mean that within the nucleus they also existed as separate particles. No, there was only a compact core of matter in there. Therefore, quarks, neutrons, gluons, bosons, etc., do not exist separately in atomic nuclei, which only form compact nuclei. The strong force being simply gravity, which unites matter. And the weak electromagnetic forces, etc., being different potentials of the magnetic forces and fields, expansion and redistribution forces, depending on the size of the nucleus that produces them. And finally, I would like to present a proof that for me has been important and demonstrative that the microcosm is equivalent and functions similarly to the macrocosm. The missing link that unifies the microcosm with the macrocosm. And this proof, similar to the missing link in paleontology, would be the magnetic fields and lines produced by magnets. I consider magnets as a polar alignment, N,S, of the iron atoms that compose them, which produces the sum of their magnetic fields and lines with a sum potential sufficient to be displayed, executed and visible around the magnets. Of course, as a still photo since the magnets cannot rotate on themselves like the atoms that compose them do. However, we do see how its forces and fields are executed, not only attracting the orbitals, iron shavings, but also aligning them on the magnetic lines of the magnet. All of this, the fields and their magnetic lines, executed and act in the same way that we observe the stars and bodies that we observe do. Of course, both in atoms and in stars and other bodies, when rotating on themselves, the orbitals are dragged into the rotation, close to the spin equator so as not to be attracted and absorbed by the nuclei. Well friends, thank you for your attention and kindness. To see all the explanations of my cosmic model, you can visit the works and pages exposed about it.